Solar stocks are crashing, but uranium is on fire. The government just made its energy picks, slashing wind and solar tax credits while backing nuclear, hydro, and geothermal until 2036. Clean energy? Absolutely. Profitable? Even better, nuclear ETFs are up 35%. Did you catch that? Don't miss out on the most overlooked bull market in uranium. Watch the full video to find out why this could be your next big investment.
Gary, thing number 3, solar stocks plummet while nuclear gains on Senate tariff bill amendments. What do we need to know?
All right. So, Rob, this isn't done, but the Senate version of President Trump's big, beautiful bill proposes a substantial rollback of solar and wind tax incentives. Those credits would shrink to 60% in 2026, vanish entirely by 2028. That is well ahead of the current 2032 deadline. Solar stocks got obliterated on this. It's actually not a bad thing. First of all, solar and wind are not environmentally friendly. If you think I'm wrong, take a look at what's involved in mining the kinds of elements used in solar panels, or the amount of oil that's used in the blades of windmills. On top of all of that, for that kind of energy to be effective and to be usable on the grid, you need massive battery storage. Otherwise, it's not reliable. If that's the case, take a look at the environmental devastation caused by lithium mining. They're just not reliable. They're expensive. They're not environmentally friendly. It's just you don't see the environmental devastation. It's somewhere else. It's in other places. And so the other issue, Rob, is that these kinds of industries, solar and wind, really only exist because they've been supported by government subsidies. They've never had to stand on their own. That's why these stocks got obliterated. Now, the other side of that is the bill actually extends tax credits for real renewables like nuclear, geothermal, and hydropower through at least 2036. Those forms of energy are much more environmentally friendly and they're reliable. And so that led to immediate gains in related equities. The global ex-uranium ETF jumped over 35%. Shares of other nuclear energy firms rallied. And the legislation reflects a growing policy pivot toward clean, firm power that can provide consistent baseload. There's finally starting to be bipartisan recognition that grid reliability and stability requires more than intermittent renewables. The fact is, if you're listening to this and you want that AI-powered future, that means reliable energy. And if you want it to be carbon-free, your options really are things like hydropower, geothermal, or our favorite, nuclear. So I think this is sending us in a much better direction in terms of national energy policy.
Yeah, Gary, it sounds like some of the benefits of geothermal, hydropower, nuclear you laid out. Is that why the government is prioritizing that type of energy? How might they be different from the solar and wind? I think you touched on a little bit of that, but is that why the government is prioritizing these types of energy creation?
Yeah, I think that's the case, Rob. I think the government is looking at two different things. One is that nuclear power, in terms of being renewable and carbon free and clean, that's the way to go. Solar and wind have a really bad environmental history. Again, people say, oh, no, it's clean. Look, I'm getting energy from the sun. Yeah, but look at what is required to build those solar panels. It's a lot of environmental devastation. Also, disposal of solar panels, it doesn't go well. You end up with a lot of really bad elements in landfills. Whereas nuclear is just much easier to manage. The other thing is people are realizing that for national security, just for quality of life, we need a reliable grid. Solar works when the sun is out. Wind power works when the wind is blowing. And, that's great, but you don't have it all the time. And again, batteries require huge amounts of lithium. That's not environmentally friendly to mine. So there are all these issues. Nuclear is really a much better option for this. And for reliability, people are realizing, wow, each one of these AI data centers that we need to be building unless we want to lose, the AI race to China, and we don't, right? But each one of those individual data centers could use as much energy as an entire city. So you need reliable energy. This is the direction they have to go.
Gary, in terms of just from an investment standpoint, I mean, how do you make money on this? What's the opportunity? What do you see for DKI subscribers?
So we've done this in multiple ways. There are multiple companies that we own that have exposure to higher energy prices, in particular nuclear power. One of the ones we've talked about a lot recently is Talon Energy. We started buying that at $120 roughly a year ago. That stock, I'm taking a look right now, is at $291. So it's up 2.5 times. A huge credit to Enrique Abeda from HX Research, who not only came up with the idea, but he did a webinar with us. For any of you who are curious about the investment thesis there, that webinar is up on DKI's YouTube channel. It's still up there. You can hear me talking with Enrique about his research on this for about an hour. He's fascinating on it. We also own huge uranium positions, and in fact, I increased my personal uranium position 2 weeks ago, and that is up more than 12% in just 2 weeks. I can't promise you we're always going to see positive results that quickly, and be up 12% in a couple of weeks. But I think knowing what we're doing in real time, particularly in this space, is worth a subscription price.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Gary. And definitely exciting things happening in uranium space, and DKI subscribers know we've been holding positions in the uranium space for quite some time now.